Hello everybody, and welcome to your first lesson at this conversation program. Um, I'm really happy you attended our first class, and just as a quick introduction, this program is for everybody who has already acquired some comprehension, some knowledge in the English language, and it's essentially to improve your fluency, and a little bit of vocabulary, but mostly conversation skills. And as you can see, as here on the background picture of our first slide, today's lesson is about food. So yeah, let's start. Belgian cuisine, here we go. Before coming to our actual topic today, I wanted to give you a little extra information or some facts about the English language. So as you may know, English is not only a language spoken in only the US, the UK, and Australia, but it has really evolved to a global language that is not only for communication between natives, but more from people from different countries. So it's really like a tool to communicate, and is really used or widely used in business sectors and tourism sector. And it's also a fact that there are twice as many non-native English speakers than natives, which is tremendous. And about 75% of the English spoken is non-native to non-native. So for example, I mean, if you have a German company that is talking or wants to have a meeting with a Brazilian company, what language are you going to choose? They're not gonna, usually Germans are not very good in Portuguese, and Brazilians don't have a huge amount of German language skills, so they obviously have uses the common language, and this is English. So all of this I want to tell you because it's really, English has really evolved to this kind of global language, and it's not about accent. It's not about what kind of language you have as a native and what kind of accent you have in English. It is more about pronunciation. It is that people are able to understand what you're saying, that you're pronouncing the words so you're comprehensible. That's it, actually. So actually, before as a first lesson, as a first little special part before starting our program, I also wanted to introduce myself a little bit. Since I have a little complicated background, so if I haven't mentioned it yet, my name is Sam, and I'm gonna lead you through this conversational program. And I am Swedish, because my mom is Swedish. I've had this nationality. I've been living in Brussels for 14 years, so in Belgium, which you can see the flag in the middle, and the flag on the left hand side is the Austrian flag, since I moved there when I was 14 from Brussels. Yes, so right now I am studying Portuguese, so I would really like to get some more knowledge about the Brazilian culture and everything. Anyway, that's another story. Let's start about my God, Belgian cuisine. Since I've been living in Brussels for almost all my life, and I really like food, so I picked a topic that is really related to myself as a first topic. So the background picture that you were also seeing in the first background are Belgian waffles. They have different toppings, like for example, you can see whipped cream in the waffle in the middle, you can see Nutella, you can see different fruits, chocolate, vanilla sauce. It's really common to go to like a kind of a food truck in a park and just get yourself a Belgian waffle. Let's start with some facts about Belgian cuisine. I don't know. I find it interesting because I really love food. Um, so as a starter, the most internationally known foods in that people know from other countries about Belgium is I would say uh, there are like four or five is chocolate, waffles, fries, mussels, and beer. I don't know if you've heard of the Belgian pralines. Belgian pralines are um, not really chocolate bars. It's more just kind of like expensive chocolate that you buy in a really small quantity, and um, it has different kind of fillings, and it's a little bit kind of special, but also special in price, obviously. Then you also have this waffle that I just showed you on the picture, on the slide before. Then I don't know if you know, but Belgium, or the capital of Belgium, Brussels, is kind of is known as the home or the birthplace of the fries. It's really common to eat fries with seafood. So fries with mussels, for example. We have a French expression. It's called moule frites, and it's exactly expressing this kind of fries and mussel combination. There's also beer. Beer is, I guess, for South Americans, the most I would say the most known about Belgium. Um, um, Beer is, I'll come to that later, where that came from. Other kind of basic foods in Belgium is potatoes, leeks, gray shrimp. Gray shrimp is also a seafood, and as I just said, local beer. This is kind of where this whole culture comes from, because it is really locally brewed. Brewed is the process how to make beer, and it's usually like a lot of these famous beers were originally made in monasteries. Monastery is kind of a building where monks live. Monks are in the Christian religion, are people that um, read a lot, that serve, that pray, that live after God's kind of rules, or how you may express that. Um, what is also very uncommon is that this small country, Belgium, has about 2,000 chocolatiers, and it's chocolate factories is something that is quite common, but chocolatier is a person who really makes these special handmade pralines, and there are 2,000 of these, so you really have a quite vast amount. Other really common dishes actually, that you can eat there when you come there, when you visit Belgium, is sausage and mash. Mash is referred to mashed potato, and again, the moule frites, the fries and mussels. So on these two pictures that I'm showing here, on the first picture, that's a gray shrimp, and the other one is a monastery in the hills of Valony. All right. So let's get to our first little conversational task that I want to give you guys, and that I want you guys to talk about. So usually I will give you in this kind of format, and then you will, as instructed in our instruction video, you will discuss these kind of questions with with our with our virtual classroom. So we have here two pictures, two kind of uh, f- different kind of foods, and I want you to describe and compare what you can see on these pictures. And what, please tell me what kind of typical dishes they uh, are from your home country, how are they prepared. Just talk a little bit about food, like about where you come from, what is typical, what do you really like to eat, what is a really what you eat frequently. Of if there's any kind of food that you didn't like as a child that you eat now. For example, for me it was tomatoes. I was hating tomatoes when I was a child until I was I don't know how old, and then now it's a complete normal vegetable to me. I don't know. That's like a simple example. So please have a little conversation with us about it, and let's move on to the next task. The next task is another little discussion, and um, the instruction is like this. Your friend just graduated and you are planning a celebration for him at the restaurant. So your friend is graduated means your friend just passed in the final exam at the school, and you will make a little party for him at the restaurant. Um, so I would like you guys to be the organizer, be the one who is picking all the details um, around around this kind of celebration. For example, please pick the location. Where do you want it to be? In what kind of city? In what kind of restaurant? Type of restaurant. Do you want it to be a more classy one, a more fast food, quick restaurant? Do you have any kind of do you prefer any kind of food from some nationality, like Chinese food, like Japanese food? I don't know. Could be. And I would also like you to choose the whole menu. Menu means a sequence of dishes where you usually start with something smaller, like an appetizer. Appetizer, if you don't know, is for example, a little soup, a little salad, a little something to start the whole kind of food ritual. And then a main course in Brazil, I would say is definitely like, I mean, I don't know, churrasco or something like this. And a dessert, I don't know, some kind of, just pick something that you think is really good. And also, who, please define what kind of group should be at this event. All right. Now we come to the vocabulary that could be useful when you want to talk about it at our platform. So we have a cutlery. Cutlery means basically it's a umbrella term for fork and knife. Booking. Everybody, I mean, I've been here for 6 months in Brazil, and I'm listening to this publicity every day. Like, I mean, like I'm at some place and I'm hearing television going, running somewhere, and I'm always hearing booking.com. So it's like you may know what it means. You can, for example, book a room, book a table, like reserve something. Drinks menu, I was explaining it before. It could be like a list of things that you can choose. Drinks, of course, then it's about beverage. Napkin is this kind of tissue or paper that you put on your lap, or that you, I don't know, clean your mouth with after food, that you, this kind of little tissue. Vegetarian option, that's, for example, if you only have dishes with meat, then you might ask for like, hey, is there a vegetarian option for this dish? And then they may give you, for example, instead of meat, they give you a fried egg. I don't know. Side dish is something that is on the side, as the name says, some extra little dish. Like for example, you order, I don't know, some meat, and then you want to have some rice on the side. Then also about the word party. The word party can mean two things. It can mean the party, the celebration, but it also can mean a group of people. So like we're going in a party to the restaurant. Like going in a party to a party, basically. Exactly. So then also the word beverage, which means also drinks. Another is a synonym, basically. Then the word bartender, the person that works at the bar that usually makes like cocktails, more like drinks for you. Fast food and fine dining are two different types of restaurants. Fine dining is more this classy type of restaurant, and fast food is more this quick. And as the name says, you're entering and you're eating your food fast. As you know, like all these kind of chains like McDonald's, Subway, and so on. Homemade is an adjective for example, homemade food, made at home, as the name says. Easy. Super. So I would like to thank you for attending this class, and I hope we can have a little discussion on our platform. I hope you enjoyed the class, and see you in our next one. Ciao.